StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between POX and Genix on Apotheosis, the latter edition. In the bottom right side of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is Genix from Encon Gaming. And in the top left side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is POX from ECV. So this is a GM level ladder game sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and see how this thing goes. Haven't had a PvP in a while. I do try to get a mirror matchup in here every once in a while. ZVZ, TBT. I know they don't get as much attention as my other casts do, but you know what? We got to represent all of the StarCraft. All of the StarCraft too that there is, that you guys are playing. You'll be very impressed overall by how to see PvP is played if you're a Protoss player. That's kind of the idea here, is watch GM players, watch pros, see what they do, and then learn from them. Did I make my volume too low? No? I didn't do continuous music, though. Dang it. Yeah. There we go. There's our music. It's weird to have Terran music when it's a PvP, though. Not gonna lie. Pretty quick double assimilator here from Genix, along to go with the gateway opening. So double gateway, double assimilator, and not throwing down that early nexus here. Yep, and it looks like pretty much the same thing going on. Yep. From POX, going that double gateway opening, I have been converted to the idea that stalkers are better in PvP early game. Nope, sorry. I said that backwards. It's adepts. Adepts are better just because they provide that constant threat of walking back up into your base when they're harassing your front door. It really keeps your units around and lets you hang out back home. Stalkers can't quite do that same sort of thing. Cybernetics core on the way for both of these players, and there we go, identical production tabs. Cybercore, gateway, pylon, probe. That'll switch up here eventually, but this early game for PvP is pretty well established as far as when you do what here. Cybercore just now wrapping up again for both these players. The timing seems dead on, except POX's is a tiny bit faster, like 2 seconds faster, and both players going for the stalker opening. Mothership core coming out for POX early. Genix deciding to go for a warp gate instead, planning to go for the long-term play rather than the early defense, which does seem to be generally a good way to approach things. Yeah, both players just going for... Now they're both going for warp gate. And just more and more stalkers coming out of the production tab as well. So we'll see who decides to deviate from their builds first here. Whether it comes down to like a robotics facility, whether we see a Stargate. But right now, it's pretty much just the same old, same old. POX has got stalkers heading to every which corner of the top side of this map. Looking for stuff that's happening here from Genix. Genix doing the same thing, sending his stalkers around, trying to see what he can figure out. But no, there's really nothing going on. No ninja stuff, no proxy stuff, nothing anywhere on the map except inside these main bases. No buildings at all. Actually, until that Nexus got thrown down. Okay, POX finally did. POX and Genix expanding at the exact same time. Okay, all right, we can live with that. What do we got here? Cybernetics core still doing warp gate research. All right, it's time for somebody to move out. Let's do this thing. Let's do some attacks. This defensive stuff is fun and all. Stalkers actually trying to knock down this rock tower. Does that seem quiet to you? My sound effects all seem quiet. Where am I? Oh, that's why. Made it too quiet. Derp. That's better. That's a better balance. I like that one a lot better. And both players going for the robotics facility. Okay, so maybe nothing will be different for a while now. Some sentries did come out for Genix. So that's good. That's some deviation. I do like to see deviation. POX knocking down the unbuildable bricks that he has just at the bottom of his ramp. Kabloom. Just to avoiding a misclick later on. And he actually did finally knock down these rocks, effectively blocking him off from taking his third too easily. I mean, I don't know why you would do that unless, I don't know. I just don't see a good reason for doing that unless you're bored. Otherwise, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if there's a reason to knock those things down defensively. I mean, you still have this huge wide open area you have to defend from your enemy coming up giant ramps and through giant choke points, and knocking these rocks down doesn't really slow them down at all. Although, I don't know. I mean, the stalkers, I guess they checked for a third base here. They didn't really see if there was a way to attack into POX's base that way. So yeah, I don't think it did anything. And Twilight Council opening for both these guys. What is going on? Are they both doing Archon drops? Are they both planning DT stuff? Maybe Blink Stalker attack with Warp Prism assistance here. That would make sense. And then 4 minutes later, POX knocks down his own rocks here to access his potential third base at the gold. That's so weird. Maybe he just wanted to give these guys something to do. Maybe it's a warm-up. Does that make sense? If you need to warm up your people. Yeah, both players. Yep, both players going Blink. Both players going Warp Prism. Look at that. Look at that. They are on the same page for sure. So does it just come down to micro at this point? I guess so. I guess it just comes down to who can do what faster. Who can keep his stalkers alive better. Hallucinated Phoenix for POX comes down and does some scouting. Actually sees exactly what is going on from Genix's base. Gateway, gateway, gateway. Robotics facility, making himself an observer. And he's going to head out. I think he's going to head out. He's going to send his stalkers up to the north. Is he going to find that Warp Prism? Oh, bad. Oh, bad. Oh, bad Warp Prism. Oh, bad Warp Prism. Can they get it? They don't have Blink yet, so they can't get it. If they had Blink, it'd be dead. Warp Prism for Genix heading north. There are no set of stalkers waiting for that one. And actually, POX is continuing with this thing. Well, maybe kind of. I don't... What? I mean... Warp Prism could have done that, but instead came back around and got picked off by the stalkers. I don't understand. Anyway, Genix is heading up with his Warp Prism. Stalker's heading up alongside it. Third base by POX is attempting to be taken here at the gold. And actually, Hallucinate Phoenix in there again, causing some trouble for Genix down below. Genix actually taking his third not at the gold base, just directly along this bottom left side. Here's the additional warping of Stalker, but look at the Immortal. Oh, POX has an Immortal with his army. That's a huge get. That is such a huge thing when your opponent is basically going Stalker here. All right, do you block inside the main? He could get inside the main and force field off that ramp and cause a lot of damage here. Is that what he's planning on doing, though, is the question. Oh, his Blink's not ready yet. That's what's going on here. Does he have the Blink? He does. There it is. Blinks right on in. Loses his Observer, but immediately does manage to take down a pylon that's under construction. Staying outside the range, he needs those force fields. He actually doesn't need them yet. Throws one down. Seemed a little bit unnecessary, but maybe a little bit premature there. Taking out a pylon that is photon overcharging, and Immortal comes out. Got to focus that thing down, though. Warp Prism on the high ground does get picked off there. Oh, very nice, but the force field's continuing to cause problems for POX. Robotics facility going to get taken out, and it is double photon overcharge. Not enough to stop that one from happening. Genix decides to cut his losses and get out of there, leaving his sentries to die. They had enough for a couple more force fields. Actually, they killed a Stalker. That's amazing. Can they get another one? They're trying so hard. They're trying to poke at this third base, getting chased away by POX there as well. And Sentry, with one kill, is chasing the Sentry. Brave Sentry. Brave Sentry. Run away from the Stalker, Brave Sentry. No. All right. That's totally fine. Genix heading on down to his happily mining third base. Robotics Bay on the way for Genix. Is he going Disruptor or is he going Colossus? These seem to be two very good options. POX is replacing his robotics facility that he lost to that attack. That was actually probably the biggest blow in the game. He has a couple idle workers here too. POX, dude. You're on the GM ladder. Come on, man. Get to work. Get to work. 54 to 57 Harvesters. Genix has a slight lead on that front. Another Phoenix. Man, POX loves his Hallucinated Phoenix. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're great at scouting. Replacing... Nope, getting a Disruptor here. So Disruptor in here for Genix. Did he replace his Observer? He did. Where is it? It's actually following this Mothership core as she patrols back and forth along a very tiny area inside Genix's base. That's funny. Some Adepts heading up north for Genix now. And what are we doing from... POX is going Robotics Bay 2. Could this be... Wow, this could be the first Disruptor tennis game in months on my channel. We just don't see a lot of Disruptor versus Disruptor. Even, in the PvPs that I cast, it usually seems to be other stuff. Lots of Adepts, lots of Immortals. You've even seen Colossus before we've seen Disruptor. Dark Shrine on the way for POX 2. And taking a fourth base now. So it's going to be 4 bases to 3 bases for Genix if he's not careful here. Adept from Genix coming up. And killing a probe here at the fourth base construction. Immediate warping of Stalkers to defend here. Great choice. Goodbye, Adepts. You're going to die super dead quickly. Boom. One dead. Will the other one escape? The other one will escape. Where did she go? Oh, immediately to die over the natural base. Bummer. Bummer for her. All right, Genix has an Immortal mixed in with his army as well. Double pumping. Yes, both players double pumping disruptors off of 2 robotics facilities. Genix taking his 4th at the gold base. So again, essentially we're doing the same thing here. These guys are going the same build, essentially have the same 4 bases. Yeah, they took them in different orders, but that's it. And actually a Stargate from Genix here. I don't see any sign of a Stargate out of POX, so that could be our difference. Oh, no, he does have a Stargate. No, he doesn't. He doesn't, because those were hallucinated Phoenix, not actual Phoenix, right? Right. Okay. Right, not a crazy person. Not a crazy person at all. So Genix moving out with the Stalkers, with the Immortal, with 4 Disruptors. He's going to try to take down this 3rd. He's going to die trying. Here it is. Is he? He's waiting for the Disruptors. They're slow, is the problem. Stalker goes up the ramp to die and see exactly what we're dealing with. It's time. Purification Nova goes in there and whiffs. Another Nova goes in there and not even close. All right, so Genix is kind of testing the waters here. POX, this is not his first rodeo of Disruptor Tennis. Oracle coming out for POX. 2 more Stargates for Genix and a Fleet Beacon. Is he... DT warping at the main. Genix losing a lot of stuff here to these DTs. Pylons are falling. Photon Overcharge does kill 1, and both of them get killed. Photon Overcharge saving the day there. Some Adepts warping in for Genix up to this natural base, but POX is right on top of that one. How many workers do you get? 9 workers killed by POX, 4 killed by Genix so far. Income tab is at 65 to 54. POX has a big old 11 worker lead thus far on his opponent. So both players are getting fairly close to maxed out. POX is at 169. Make it 171. Genix is at 141. So this might be POX's game to lose here. He's looking good right now. Got his Disruptors, got his Immortals. Does he have a Warp Prism with this army for more Warp-ins? He does not, but Tempest on the way for Genix. We've seen this. I'm remembering the last Disruptor Tennis game we played with Showtime and somebody else, and there was a lot of Tempest play. The Tempest just basically existed to snipe down the Disruptors from a distance. That's what they were all about. Oracle snipes into the 3rd, 4th base of Genix, gets taken out pretty quickly, but 15 workers killed by POX now. It's a lot of dead workers. 71 to 52 Harvesters. POX is in the lead, but Genix is moving into carrier production. Is he just straight up switching to Sky Toss right now? It seems like he is, and I'm not sure how much POX knows about this. He's got more DTs warping in. Let's see what POX knows about this Stargate business. Actually, where are the other 2? Okay, he does. He's flown over them or sent DTs over them or something. So he knows about the Fleet Beacon and the other 2 Stargates. And yeah, POX is actually getting his own Fleet Beacon and more Stargates too. So players are kind of just both switching over to Sky Toss after going Blink Stalker, Immortal, Disruptor without even really making a single hit with those Disruptors, which seems like a bit of an obstacle, but we're not going to worry about it too much. Both players getting that +1 air weapons, Protoss ground weapons level 2, finishing up for POX as well, and continuing that Tempest production. Here is Genix. So Genix decided it's time to move out. He's got Stalkers, he's got Immortals, he's got Tempests, he's got Disruptors. He does try to get that hallucinated Phoenix that's heading down south to scout. Can't do it. Can't do it, so doesn't really worry about it here. Where are his carriers? Did he cancel those? Don't cancel the carriers. He did cancel the carriers to make more Tempest. Bummer. Genix, I wanted to see carriers in this game, but no, huh? Alright, that's totally fine, no big deal. DT over here making sure the 5th base for Genix isn't where he thinks it should be. Genix is taking a 5th base, although the 5th base for POX is already up. So we'll see how that works out. Again, I just feel like POX is a nice lead. He's maxed out. Genix is at 187 total supply, but again, the longer we go here, the more it benefits Genix. You're just turtling too hard, man. He's got cannons up at his 4th base. He's protecting both his 5th and his 3rd with an army sitting in between them. It's good positioning, but you can't let your opponent catch up. You did a great job getting to 200 supply in about 12 minutes, which, again, Legacy of the Void standards, pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty fast game, especially if there aren't any huge battles to whittle down that count. Mothership on the way for Genix, and just triple pumping Tempest right now. So how many Tempest do you need to one-shot a Disruptor? That's my question of the day. Although Tempest versus Tempest here. Wha-bam, wha-bam. Woo! 1 Tempest for POX. Gets taken down immediately. Good advantage there by Genix. Still continuing to shell the retreating POX. Taking out cannons, protecting this 5th base. Trying to come in and save it. Stalkers trying to get rid of these Tempests. Get out. Oh, Tempest for Genix. Tempest for POX. Raining down on the Disruptors for Genix. Stalkers Getting rid of the Tempest. Sneaking around the left side are the Stalkers. Purification Nova does come in and blinks away. Does blocks. Nice job by POX. So Stalker attack here on the 4th base of POX. It is getting cleaned up by POX. He's doing a good job of it that way. And both players pulling back just a little bit. Just a little bit here. Resources lost 7,900 for POX. Genix 5,500 lost for the red Protoss player. Yeah, POX is really covering this 6th base. Pretty darn hard. Tempest trying to take out that assimilator. Nova comes up, whipped again. Nova not even close. And I feel... Revelation gets thrown down. Nice Revelation. Tossed down onto Genix's army here. Is that a pylon? I think he killed a pylon. Yep, more pylons that POX has kind of set up around the map here. Getting picked off by Genix as he's finding them. Mostly by accident, I think. Most entirely by accident. Stalkers coming into the gold base by Genix. There's a cannon, though. Can the cannon take out 2 Stalkers? How are the upgrades on these guys? +2 attack? Maybe not. Maybe not, but Tempest coming to assist. Huge battle up this way, though. POX coming from the north. Tempest raining fire. Nova's being used by POX. Not hitting very well, though, but getting focused down. Stalker army on the ground. Pretty darn big for POX. Tempest trying to run. Stalkers. Oh, there's the mothership, though. Mothership comes in. Mothership gets killed by what? Did the Tempest take that out? Hold up. Sorry, I know it's the middle of a battle, but we gotta see that one. And, oh, the Stalkers get it. Stalkers focus down the mothership core, or the mothership first of all. Bam. Gone. More Novas coming on down. Woo, Tempest taking out sentries. They just have so few hit points. Such tiny, tiny little hit points they have. Nova coming in again and just missing. So it's 169 to 187 total supply. Genix is Genix is down, rather. I'm sorry, but both players have 5 bases. And do they have any interest in taking a 5th or a 6th at this point? We'll have to wait and see. Air armor level 1 on the way. Air weapons level 2 on the way for POX. And 2 on the way for Genix as well. Getting Protoss shields, 2. And a Blink Stalker attack by Genix, getting picked up by POX's Blink Stalkers and just getting massacred as they try to retreat. Can any of them live? 3 of them. 3 of them managed to survive, and Genix sneaking up along this left side. Going to try to harass something. Zealot. Great scout by that Zealot. And where does he attack? He's coming down the ramp. He's going to try to catch POX out of position, but both players are ready for this one. Nova comes in and bam, takes out a nice chunk of Stalkers. Nicely done. Probably the best Nova hit of the day so far, exemplified by Genix. Tempest, what's our Tempest count look like here? 12 versus 14, so pretty even. Pretty even right now. Tempest really can't be used against Stalkers. Nova from POX takes out an Immortal of Genix, though. That's a nice job. Nice job by POX. More Novas coming back and catching a Disruptor. So Disruptor taken down by another Disruptor. That's pretty much what they live for, I'd have to assume. Although they're robots. I don't know if they have any hopes or desires of their own. Still, 200 for POX, 185 for Genix. Genix floating some minerals here. About 1,200 sitting. He does have a Dark Shrine of his own coming up. Mothership and Tempest on the way. 6 base underway for POX. He's been consistently good. Consistently great with his upgrade, with his expanding and his upgrade so far. Getting +3 air weapons, +2 air armor. He really wants his Tempest to be more effective than his opponents, and so far I'd say that's working out pretty darn well. So continuing here is Genix taking off a Stalker from distance. Couple Stalkers by POX lose sight of what's important here and get taken on out. More Tempest though from the north. Nova's going back and forth. Nobody really losing much at all, but some pretty good dodges on display. It's more being used as a zoning effort than anything else. Blinking up, though, is Genix. Can he take out those Tempests? He does. He gets a couple shots off, then stays away from the Novas as they come in. Good micro by Genix there. POX doing the same thing. Tempest trying to focus down the other person's Tempest here. It's 10 to 12. Both players losing him pretty handily. Nova's coming in. It's absolute chaos right now. Nova's getting dodged. Mothership is complete per POX. Genix in a lot of trouble now. Stalkers coming in. Disruptors coming in. Fully retreating. Is Genix back to his mothership? Wait. Did POX have a mothership there? I can't tell. The units lost here. I thought for sure his units were cloaked. Maybe those were Genix's that I was seeing. All right. So anyway, it's 6 base to 5 base. 68 to 55 total harvesters. POX can just remax faster. He can upgrade faster. He can replace his units that are lost more quickly. Genix, what is he going to do? He's going to need some really nice Disruptor hits, or some really nice Tempest hits here as well, but it's 10 Tempest versus 10 Tempest. +2/+2 plasma shields for the red Protoss player, and +2/+1 for the plasma shields. Oh, and also +2 armor. Yeah, I was going to say, POX's upgrades are just better. They're just better at this point. And POX has been very defensive in this game. I think all of the attacks have been initiated by Genix so far, but POX has decided it's time. He's decided it is time to move on out of there. While Genix is trying to take a 6th base, he's sending some probes on in. Cloaked probes look weird. They look funny. There's that 6th Nexus on the way. POX kind of regrouping, hanging out. He's got his Tempest all stacked up on top of each other. I don't know why. But he does. Stalker for Genix taking out a probe by POX. It was trying to take a 7th base. Have we seen that many bases on this map? I just feel like POX is an expanding king right now. He's doing a fantastic job with that macro. Mothership core morphing into a mothership here. You should get there eventually. Here we go. Coming north is Genix. Where's that army? A really narrow bridge separating the two right now on the northern side of the map. Mothership trying to see what it can see. Slowly doing the rotating thing. Genix moving down. What do we got here? He's going to try to assault the 7th. The 7th is being attempted. Tempest on top of everything. Immortal's getting focused down by the Tempest. First of all, Tempest for POX, though, getting rid of that Mothership core in seconds. Man, they are good against big old air units. That's what they're invented for. Nova comes in. Good dodge. Does catch a disruptor, though. So much micro on display right now. I can't even tell. Great hit there by Genix, taking out the Stalkers. Tempest versus Tempest now is pretty much all that is left. Although there are a few Stalkers on the ground for POX, he does have the defender's advantage. And is that it? Who left the game? Did we lock up? Oh, my computer locked up for a second there. That's what that was. Yikes. All right. So anyway, still coming down. Immortal on the ground here. Immortal on the ground here for POX. Does have how many kills? 9 kills, and that's it. A GG from Genix. Genix calls out the well played, is defeated, and POX is victorious. Basically from that final battle. I think it's that fact that it turned out to be 10 versus 7 Tempest. But otherwise, I mean, pretty even at that point. I wonder if Genix just recognized that was a 7th base coming up. He was behind on economy in the production tab. It would be hard for him to come back here, or just the fact that he was going to lose all of his Tempests to these Tempests because he couldn't necessarily run away. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but Genix tapped out in a pretty darn entertaining game. That was, I mean, some of those battles were huge. We had Tempest, Immortals on the ground, Disruptors doing a ton of stuff back and forth, Stalkers trying to dodge everything and not ended up a twisted wreck on the ground like these ones did. Whew. All right, so that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me at Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself. Patrons! Nicholas Cheek, Sean Govin, Nick Riley, Josh Cornelius, Jin, Robert Farmer, Kayan, Matt Meermans, Hakon Marcus, Christopher, Alex Coffey, Ben Raboyne, 19 Day, Kith Garlow, Alexander Canaras, Complex, Ian Westbrook, Michael McIntosh, Sam Estagoy, Bo Brissett, Kale Anderson, Trevor Smith, Menhadin, GMP, Sik Kupata, Pedro Batsaris, Michael Wellen, Plaid, Henry Cooper, Clayton Knight, Jan Kodera, Kevin Chang, Rajiv Bhatt, link at the top right. Thank you. Bye.